What? Too much?
Wow.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck. Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Wow, welcome back. If you are watching us on YouTube, hey, do us a big favor, would you? Click like and subscribe. That would be doing us a solid. And while you're at it...
Can you click love?
You can. You
click love.
Just click everything.
Click best show ever. Click awesome.
So if you're just listening, I've got to break this down for you. Brian is in the studio today wearing this extraordinary black jacket, custom tailored Western style. This is like, for those of you of a certain demographic, a Porter Wagoner.
It is very Porter Wagoner.
A black jacket. It looks like it was maybe designed by Nudie, if you're familiar with his work. Famous San Fernando Valley Western designer. But it's black with rhinestone music notes, rhinestone microphones. I have never felt quite so inadequate as a member of the male species as I do sitting next to Brian Phelps right now.
This is the first time you felt that way?
Well, no, it happens frequently. Right. But can you please talk us through what the story is on this jacket?
First of all, I'm wearing this jacket to celebrate our upcoming guest today.
Oh, okay, good.
And briefly, how I got this jacket was it was made for me. Dwight Yoakam, you remember?
Oh, inside the pocket of...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Who sings that?
That's Dwight Yoakam.
Let him. So Dwight Yoakam invited us over to his house. He was on the show many times.
Love him.
And so I'm there with my girlfriend, Mark, and Linda there. And we just sat in his living room with a guitar.
Oh, my gosh.
He had a guitar, and he was playing all these songs. Some of his hits, some covers. It was just a really special night.
He's famous, a part of that Bakersfield country sound. Yeah. That's so cool.
It was our own little private concert in his home.
Yeah.
But we chatted a lot, too. And I said, Dwight, I got to tell you, man, your jackets are that you wear on stage. You know, the long, cool rock and roll, but country still kind of jackets. I love them. And I said, man, I've always wanted to take a look at your closet, jokingly. He goes, well, come on.
Wow.
So he takes me upstairs, opens the double closet doors.
Wait just a minute. This is not just a private concert. You're getting a private tour of the inner sanctum of Dwight Yoakam.
Like you can't go upstairs in the in Graceland, but you can at Dwight's if you're invited. So double doors, he opens it up, and they're in a row, just all these incredible jackets.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And then I said, all right, jokingly again, I said, great. Can I have this one? And I pointed to one. He goes, no, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get my designer on it.
No. This is legit?
This is legit from his designer. It's even got Dwight Yoakam tag in the back.
Oh, my God.
This designer makes all Dwight's jackets.
Wow.
And so about 5-6 weeks later, show up at the station early in the morning to do the show, and these are waiting for us. Mine's black, obviously, and Mark's was white.
Honestly, this is like something you would see hanging in a rock and roll museum or whatever. Like but it's legit. That's
from the guy who designs all his jackets.
Wow, that is so cool.
In fact, we wore these on because you're really not something you could wear out to dinner.
Oh, I would.
Yeah, you would probably. But we wore these special on a billboard campaign.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, just because they have microphones.
Yeah,
I forget what's on the back. What's on the back?
More microphones and more music notes. I mean, Dwight's also famous for wearing the tightest jeans in the history of music.
Well, yeah, tight jeans, and, I think he puts a Dr. Pepper bottle down the pants. I think that's his secret.
I am definitely not a pepper in that regard. At any rate, here's the thing. Like, what I also love about this is that it also celebrates our mutual love for music in general.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
We're both drummers.
We've mentioned that many times.
Yes, and we have both been in a multitude of bands. I don't know how many bands I actually counted. Before. I've been in seven different bands.
Wow. Since high school?
Since my very first junior high band and up till recently. I
would say for me 8 or 9.
Wow.
8 or 9.
Okay. All right. What was your first band?
The first band was in high school.
Okay.
And The first band was I was in 7th grade.
Okay, that's about the right same with me.
And I had been playing drums since 4th grade.
Okay.
And the drummer of the jazz band graduated.
Okay.
And I'm 7th grade, and I've only been playing drums for like a year and a half. Drum kit.
Yeah.
And I got picked to be their drummer. So all these seniors, and varsity guys, and there's just little old me playing drums.
Stepping up. Well, that means you were fairly salty for your age.
I was kind of salty.
That's
I'm
good.
not sure what salty means, but yeah, I was
good. It means
salty.
Good, Brian.
But one of the funniest names we had, and this was 19 or 20. I'm making money to go to college.
Yep.
I drive home from Illinois State University to play in this band, and you would call it a wedding band.
Sure.
Well,
that's how you make the money.
Yeah. So I drive home, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Money-wise for me at the time.
Yeah, of course.
But we were called, and the lead singer, whose husband actually was the manager as well, so we had no say in what the band name should be.
Of course not.
But she wanted to call it Night Dreams. Okay. So many things wrong with this name. Number one, Night Dreams. You dream at night.
Yeah,
it could have been daydream.
Yeah.
But we would send our posters ahead of time, like a month ahead of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, these people have never heard the band. They don't know what to expect.
Right.
But they would take a Sharpie and cross out night and put wet, or cross out dreams and put mirrors. It was just so easy.
Can I just
to make fun of that?
Can I just come at you and the rest of our audience with a pitch here?
Sure.
Could we just consider rechristening the show Night Dreams instead of Be Good Humans?
Night Dreams.
It's just a thought.
Yeah.
It's a thought. I'll get working on the logo right away.
I wouldn't be involved if we did, because I'd be done with it. But that was one of the bands. But yeah, many bands. $75 for a gig, no roadies. So we would drive 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm driving my parents' car.
Of course you are. Same.
Yeah, with my drums loaded in, and you being a drummer, you understand this. 4 hours to get there.
Yeah.
You got to set up. First, you unload everything, and that includes the keyboards and the guitar. We're all helping.
Yeah.
But the worst part is playing 4 hours. Great gig, had a great time.
Yeah.
And then you got to tear down.
That's right.
And then you got to load up, and then you got to drive 4 hours back.
Yeah, that's when you're hating the guitarists in the band, because they just like and they're done, and you're like, but I gotta
screwing the cymbals and putting them in cases.
Yeah, so my first band in high school was called Metropolis.
Nice.
Yeah,
Metropolis.
It was right around 7th grade too, except that
rock and roll.
Yes, but of a certain variety, and here's why. Our lead singer was also a flautist in the high school band. She was also a couple years older than me.
Okay.
And I had a mad crush on her.
Yeah.
Hi, Wendy. Anyway, Wendy played the flute. So as you can imagine, we had to do a lot of Jethro Tull tunes in this band, right?
Wow.
So Metropolis was my first band.
Let me ask you this: as drummers,
yes,
who was your favorite drummer?
Oh, well, okay. Honestly, probably Jim Keltner. He's like the drummer's drummer, session drummer, played on everything. He's kind of the unofficial Wilbury of the traveling Wilburys, but like a million things. Or it's a toss-up between him or Jeff Porcaro or Steve Gadd. It's the guys who most people don't know. We know who the flashy, like, well-known drummers are, and they're incredible, but, like, it's those L.A. session drummers that I grew up sort of looking at liner notes to learn about that I gravitate toward.
Yeah, mine is also Jeff Porcaro, but before Jeff, and he was in our house band on our Christmas shows.
Right, yeah.
So many times.
So you knew him.
Yeah, sweetest guy. And again, I worship him.
Yeah.
Since I was
first
got a Toto album, I worship the guy. And my favorite drummer when I first started playing drums, and remained this because you'd see him on Johnny Carson all the time, and he was just amazing, was Buddy Rich.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, this guy was amazing, and I wanted to be Buddy Rich. So my parents, I think I was like 12 or 13, they took me to Davenport, Iowa, to see Buddy Rich and his band, his big band.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and I was just, this is what I want to do. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to, oh my God, he's so cool,
Yeah, and very few people did it as well as he did.
Yeah. So they announce at the end of the show that Buddy you can come up on stage and meet Buddy.
Ooh, VIP experience.
Those who want to.
Mm-hmm.
And, my dad and mom wanted to go home.
Sure,
Really, they
sure,
really
sure,
did. But
sure.
they were so sweet. They said, "Oh, go ahead, get in line." So I got in line. And as I'm in line, and it's kind of moving slowly, and there's about 50 other people ahead of me,
right.
To go up on stage and say, I'm thinking, I don't want to be like everybody else here. I'm going to say something really cool.
Something he's never heard before.
Never heard before. I composed this thing in my head.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to love me. Might even ask maybe to have me tour with him.
Oh, yes. This is our mutual fantasy.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. It's going to be that cool. So I composed this greeting and this thing I'm going to say to him. Finally, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Well, the guy ahead of me,
yeah.
he gets up on stage and he goes, I think you're great.
Oh, he choked.
Okay. No, he didn't. I think that's what he wanted to say.
Okay. But you're going to do much better than that.
I think you're great. And he walks away. And then it's my turn. Now, there Buddy Rich sits with that pearl drum set of his, the white, sitting on that stool. That
Probably slightly sweaty and cranky at this point.
He was wearing a turtleneck and a medallion. Just cool.
Oh, this is just prime Buddy Rich.
Prime Buddy Rich. Just cool. He was just the coolest guy. And so here I come. I'm going to say what I composed. I'm going to say it. Yeah. And I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, no.
So this is what came out of my mouth. I think you're great.
Well, you weren't wrong.
True, but that was it. He never heard that before. But he looks at me. I'll never forget. He looks at me and goes, "Cool, man."
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
And I floated home.
Well, listen, between Cool Man from Buddy Rich and an actual Dwight Yoakam rock and roll jacket, you have clearly benefited greatly. But here's...
by the way, I have a drummer's joke. Now,
good.
We've heard all the drummer jokes.
Pretty much,
drummers.
yes.
And let me just say this. Most of them are true.
Well, that's true.
The punchlines are most of them are true because we're drummers.
Yeah. Easily replaceable and combustible. Yeah. Yes.
But I heard one the other day that I'd never heard before.
Oh, God, please tell.
Which I was shocked at because I thought I'd heard them all.
Good.
Okay, how many drummers does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know, Brian. How many drummers does it take to change a light bulb?
4. 1 to change the bulb and 3 to talk about how much better Neil Peart could have done it.
Well, he's, again, not wrong. Well done.
Not wrong.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you I mean, look, so the bands we've been in, the music folks we've been around, like, what do you think playing music has kind of taught you, if it's taught you anything in life?
Lucky, very, very lucky, because being from a small town, and a lot of people don't understand this about being in a small town. In school, there aren't the cliques that are in major big schools.
Yeah.
There's the jocks and there's the nerds and there's the. We did everything. We got to do everything. Anything that you were interested in. I was in chorus. I was in band. I played football all 4 years. I was in sports. I was in this. I was in that. And you actually and theater. Yeah. And you actually kind of you try everything and see what you actually are kind of liking and what you're being attracted, you're being attracted to go do. And I just thought that was so lucky. So music to me opened my mind, definitely. And it gave me a lot of avenues. It got me through college. And I still, to this day, as you know, I have a little studio at my house and I still keep my chops up.
And he's really good, you guys.
No, he's better.
He is really good. Well, better. I mean, to me, what my takeaway from all the time I've spent growing up playing music with my family and friends and bands or whatever, what draws me to it is how it's an international language. Like everyone, it doesn't matter where you're coming at it from. Like, we can all get together and sync in something, and it teaches you, I think, incredible lessons in cooperation.
Great. This little studio I was just talking about, I built it for one reason. Well, at first, I did a lot of the song parodies. I recorded them in the studio that I did on KLOS. But then I started inviting friends in, and I had 4 or 5 guitars, of course, my drum sets. I had some other instruments, and my close friends I invite in on a Saturday night. And I built this studio basically, other than for work. I build it not to record albums, not to take it seriously, but I build it so my friends and I have a safe place to act like idiots. And we did. And we did. And I had the sign still there. You've seen it.
Yep.
It says, check your embarrassment at the door.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing. You be you. If you're not musical, if you can't carry a tune, if you only sing in the shower, if you've never played, I don't care.
Yeah.
You have a good time. And they all do. Of course, the margaritas help.
Yeah, well, margaritas always help everything, but that is honestly the most important takeaway is that playing music with other people literally forces you to be sensitive to how other people express themselves.
Very, very much so.
Right? So you get plugged into that, and that experience of working with people together to play a song with a group of musicians when you finally get in the pocket and the jam is happening is unlike anything else. It's unforgettable.
It's magical. It can be so magical. And I'm going to tell you a story, and this is all very, very true. And it opened my eyes to what music can do.
Okay.
My sister is at a care facility back in Illinois, and I fly back and visit her whenever I can. And it was on one particular visit. We're sitting in the common room, and my back is towards the entrance of this facility. My sister's sitting in front of me, and we're just talking about anything, wherever she wants to go. We'll talk. Just love seeing her, and she loves it when I visit, of course. And she looks over my shoulder and then looks back at me and gets this smile on her face. She leans forward and said these 4 words: Elvis comes on Thursdays. Elvis comes on Thursdays. Okay. So I thought maybe she was just going off on a tangent.
Right. You just got to go with it.
I mean, who doesn't? You know me. I do.
No. So it does sound like something you might say to me.
It is. Elvis comes on Thursdays. So I kind of went with it. Oh, really? And then she kept looking over my shoulder. And finally, I turn around and I look. There was Elvis.
What?
Trey.
Yeah.
78 years old.
Oh.
Black pompadour. Jet black with the sideburns, the sunglasses, the high collar, the big belt, and he's walking through the common room to get to the activities room. Elvis does indeed come on Thursdays. His wife was following him.
So he's married now. Okay, good to know.
Well, his wife was...
Sorry, Scylla.
I don't know. His wife was a little younger, but she was carrying all the karaoke equipment. She was the roadie.
Okay.
So everybody starts going, and my sister's so excited because she wants me to see
Elvis is in the building.
He comes on Thursdays. So everyone gravitates towards the activity room, and everybody, it was a routine. They had it all down. All the wheelchairs, most of these people, wonderful people, are in wheelchairs.
Yep.
Some of them can still walk around, but they're sitting in wheelchairs.
Right.
And they make this half circle.
Okay,
all facing where Elvis is going to perform.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet. And these places can sometimes be a little depressing.
Of course, yeah.
It's very quiet, and I like, all right, well, this will be fun. And Debbie, my sister's very excited. He starts his first song. It was Teddy Bear.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's actually my favorite Elvis song.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Trey, this guy had the moves. 78 years old. He had the hip action. He had the moves. He had the attitude, the coolness. It was Elvis.
He was bringing it.
He was bringing it. So, but halfway through the song, something truly remarkable happened.
Okay.
Everyone started kind of moving in their chair and swaying, and some were singing along, clapping to the beat.
Oh, man.
All right. By his second song, some were actually getting up out of their wheelchairs and kind of dancing or shuffling around, spinning around, huge smiles on their faces. So he finishes that song, and my sister kind of wants him to come over.
Sure.
And say hi. So
get closer to the king.
Yeah, that's right. And so come over, and Debbie introduces us, and he goes, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
Oh,
full on Elvis, man. Hey, man, how you doing? I went, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. But
Sir.
you are doing brilliantly.
Yeah.
I thanked him for doing this every Thursday, and the joy he brought to people.
Yeah.
And the change that came over them.
Yeah.
And I worship you. I think you are incredible for doing this. And you sound amazing, and just compliment.
Yeah.
So as he's opening his mouth to respond to my compliments, in my head, I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I was thinking this: please say it. Just please say it, Elvis. for me. Just please say it.
And he said,
well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes! Perfect. Thank you very much.
Oh,
so then my sister says, Elvis, Brian does Elvis too. Where are you going with this? and he goes, was that right, young man? I went, yeah, I do. And he goes, well, why don't you come on up and we're going to do it. I go, what? I said, why don't you come up, man? We'll do a duet, man. Let's go. And so we got up. Suspicious Minds.
Oh.
Elvis was doing his really cool dancing, and I was doing my really dorky dancing.
No. You are fully prepped for this moment.
Yeah,
at this point, you'd been doing this for years.
I knew all the
in
moves
front of LA
and
audiences.
All that.
Yes,
and the crowds were cheering, and then more people got up and danced. But obviously, it was a very special moment for me.
Yes.
And it an unexpected happening that day, and it really opened my eyes to the power of music, to see those people just all of a sudden go from kind of a morose, kind of a, down and unenergetic to getting on their feet or clapping.
You can literally see people's spirits lifted. You can literally see them engaged in a myriad of ways. And that is a testament to the power of music.
And that is the joy. That joy is the reason I wore this jacket. In honor of our upcoming guest.
Okay, well, you're going to be wearing that in every single show henceforth. But in the meantime, when we come back, you guys, we are going to meet somebody who also uses music to lift people up literally around the world and unlock all kinds of memories for people who've lost them.
We will be right back.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
And welcome back.
Welcome.
Happy to tell you that our guest today is the incredible Carol Rosenstein. She's the founder of Mends Minds. It's a global nonprofit that creates music support groups for people with Alzheimer's and dementia and other neurological disorders.
Thank you so much for joining us,
hey,
Carol.
Carol.
Thank you for having me. It's delightful to meet Brian and Trey. And yes, I'm in your pocket, in the pocket with you. And your stories are delicious, and I can up them.
I bet that's true. We are delighted to have you in our pocket. So, Carol, you first began to spearhead this effort, this incredible effort known as Mends Minds, when your late husband, Irwin, was first diagnosed with Parkinson's, I believe in 2006. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Would you mind telling us about kind of how this all got started then?
Thank you. So yes, the diagnosis arrived, and my background is mind-body medicine for many years. I got the message loud and clear. As a professional. My husband, of course, did not. And I realized we were in for quite a road, a real ride. So what actually happened is after 10 years of Irwin taking medication for Parkinson's, and the medication was dopamine, a synthetic dopamine, his brain went into a crazy side effect, and he was hallucinating, agitated. We had hundreds of people living in our home, and he was spent.
Of course.
Called the neurologist, reported my findings, and he said, Carol, we've got to stop the dopamine medication. Well, of course, for a Parkinsonian to be without that kind of medication pulls the rug out from under their feet.
Certainly.
And they become lost in space.
Okay.
But I could see Irwin sitting playing the piano, which he did socially in our home. And as a wet noodle literally draped over the keys, minus his medication. After a few minutes of him hunting and pecking to find notes to sound like he was playing music, I would see this wet noodle draped over the keys suddenly rise into a state of reintroduction into the environment rather than being a lost soul. And I was speechless because I could see something magical occurring. What was happening? I called Dr. Bronstein, reported my findings, and Dr. Bronstein said in a most nonchalant way, "You're watching the power of music changing brain chemistry." Wow, said I. Does that mean that we can find some like-minded souls to come and jam and make music with us? And Dr. Bronstein said, why not? Fast forward a few weeks, I called for a launch. We were connected, of course, to UCLA, to the Alzheimer Dementia Patient Care Program, and they started to send patients our way. Others sent patients to the launch, and 30 souls arrived at a location for a launch. I knew nothing of what was about to happen. Within minutes, somebody gravitated to the piano. Somebody then gravitated to a drum kit. My husband went to the wall of instruments and pulled down a saxophone, and Sam pulled back his jacket and pulled out a harmonica. And there we had, in 15 minutes, 4 like-minded souls, never met before, sitting at a piano with a drum kit, a saxophone, and a harmonica, and these guys were joined at the hip to become the Fifth Dementia Band.
Don't you love that name? I couldn't wait for you to say that.
Yes.
Their inaugural band was the Fifth Dementia.
That's just incredible.
Brilliant. It makes me happy.
Oh, exactly. Right. And so obviously what's happening here, I mean, music literally stimulates increases in dopamine secretion from the brain, and it gives all kinds of new sustained levels of energy and happiness. It literally changes a person's, in this case, your husband's brain chemistry, along with the other players with him.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Music making, and now we add socialization, is a direct line into our pharmacy in our brains.
Mm-hmm.
And our pharmacists jump to attention in the moment of music making and push natural happy chemicals to include oxytocin, and of course the biggest one is the dopamine.
Now, we strongly urge you to go online, and we'll give you all the information at the end of the show, and see some of these videos.
Oh, yeah.
Of these incredible support bands playing.
Yeah.
You hand out maracas, you hand out tambourines, or not. If they don't want to be involved, they're not. But most of them do.
Yeah.
And they're just playing along with it and doing what they do, and just the smiles on their faces and the joy. And they're great songs too. You guys, you pick great songs for everybody. Everybody knows, everybody sings along.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well,
go see that.
It's also what helps underscore why Carol specifically is here to talk with us, because, it's one thing to see this happen in front of your eyes. It's another thing to then see how this could help many, many other people around the globe. And this led directly to you creating this nonprofit of Music Mends Minds. And at this point, it's resulted in the creation of 20 bands across the country, improve the quality of life for hundreds of people. And I know you and I both love this. Mm-hmm. Some of these bands have some of the greatest band names I've ever heard. Yeah. The Beverly Hills Troublemakers, the Jazzanovas. This one I love. Tunes for the Memory, South Bay Songster. These are just incredible band names. But can you talk to us more about how these bands work, Carol?
We are blessed to be in partnership with Rotary International Clubs. Mm-hmm. And so it's a volunteer organization. They've opened up their hearts to us. And clubs, Rotary clubs around the world in over 200 countries, who are in the service business of helping where there are catastrophes. Mm-hmm. And we are living a catastrophe because of every 3 seconds, somebody is being diagnosed with dementia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Every 65 seconds, somebody with Alzheimer's, and every 5 minutes with Parkinson's. Mm-hmm. So we have a pandemic going, just like COVID, that got vaccines. Mm-hmm. And now our pandemic of neurodegenerative diseases, throw in post-traumatic brain injury, stroke, and PTSD, we are a living disaster. And so consequently, the Rotary clubs are sponsoring in-person music groups in their neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so today we have over 60 bands globally. We have a group of Rotarians in the New Jersey area who have now 50 drum circles.
All volunteers, I'm assuming. Everyone's volunteers.
All volunteers.
Yeah.
This is the beauty of it. So we actually have 1.2 million sets of boots on the ground who are all volunteers.
Unbelievable.
This is how Music Mends Minds is going out into the ethers, not only for seniors today, but because music is medicine for the mind, we now are incorporating children to make every musical group intergenerational, because our seniors lose the facility of speech. And how are his grandson Johnny and granddaughter Betty going to speak to grandpa or grandma when they've lost their traditional speech ability?
Of course.
But to pick up a ukulele, to pick up a harmonica, to turn on YouTube, music that the seniors are familiar with, the kids rock out and no language is missed because the language of music is introduced. And my beloved Irwin, on his deathbed, not speaking, not walking, not talking, I would go in the morning with my nightie, with my shakers in my hands. I would crank up the boombox and dance and sing to the Dancing Queen. And my near-death husband, lying in bed as if he were in a coffin, would hear the beat of the music, and up would come his hands to the beat of the music, then the knees under the sheet, and it was as if we were dancing every morning together.
How beautiful.
Rolling over and kissing each other good morning.
It's so instinctive because I've always just loved it's very special to me when my kids when my friends bring their kids over and the little 2-year-old is walking around the house in a diaper, but you put music on and they start doing that.
Yeah, of course.
It's just instinctive. And in one of the articles about you and your bands, I love this quote, and I'd never even thought of this, but it all comes down to the heartbeat. In the fetus, the very first sound you hear is that beat. And for 9 months, you are immersed in the nonstop rhythm.
Yeah.
So that's where
it's primal.
Yeah, it affects more, some people differently, but it is very, very primal.
But thank you, Carol, first of all, so much for sharing such a beautiful, heartwarming moment of those times with Irwin, and what honor you have done his memory by then taking this thing on a global level, not just Jersey and California, but Washington, Connecticut, New York, UK, Canada, Rwanda, the Philippines, India. Like this has caught fire in such an inspiring way. And you guys also do Zoom sing-alongs, I gather. This is just so powerful an experience that you have identified for reconnecting people who often feel disconnected from the rest of us.
And assuming, Carol, this keeps you pretty busy, does it not?
No.
There are not enough hours in my day, but I do want to say that your listening audience can jump the stream and watch our Fifth Dementia in action every Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And it is a circus. And the seniors are up out of their wheelchairs and their workers are put aside. Their caregivers grab them by the scruff of their necks, and they're dancing and singing like they're 2-year-olds.
Wonderful.
And don't you love that it's always on Thursdays?
Yes,
That's right.
Elvis comes on Thursday. Carol, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we give all your information where people can check you out, check out the bands all over the world.
That's right.
The videos are amazing.
Please go to musicmendsminds.org. We're going to drop a link on our Be Good Humans podcast website as well to make it easy for you. But go check out how you can join the fun and support such an extraordinarily worthy cause. Carol, we cannot thank you enough for giving us something to truly sing about today, and especially for giving us an opportunity to sing your praises as a very, very good human.
And I want to introduce you to my Erwin. His ashes are with me every day.
Hi, Erwin.
A little box that we bought in Russia about 30 years ago. And he's with us right now, smiling.
Erwin, look what your wife's done.
Yeah.
Look at what she's done.
You married a very good human.
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much again, Carol. We really appreciate you giving us your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for the outreach.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Oh, I absolutely love her.
No, she's wonderful and global. It's gone global.
It's global. Once again, musicmendsminds.org, or go to our website, which we would love you to go to anyway, begoodhumanspodcast.com. We'll have a link to that. Also, you have a great opportunity there to tell us about the good humans in your lives that you would like for us to meet and talk to. Also, give us some pointers on how to be good humans in general. There's some merch there. There's all kinds of things. Do us a favor also. Follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and frankly, whatever bathroom wall is at your favorite music venue. Just don't believe what it says there about me. It's not entirely true.
Thank you. We don't say this enough, but thank you all for your interest in the show and all the help you're giving us and your support.
It's very, very true. So, Brian, you want to send us off with your very best rock and roll finish?
Oh, all right. Let me see. Hold on.
Okay, find it. Find the moment.
All right, man. Well, I just want to say, everybody, this is Elvis, and I want y'all to be good humans. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Be Good Humans is executive produced by Brian Phelps, Trey Callaway, and Grant Anderson, with associate producers Sean Fitzgerald and Clementine Callaway in partnership with Straw Hut Media. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and remember, be good humans.